He conquered every kingdom in China and crowned himself its very first emperor, ruler of a dynasty meant to last 10,000 generations. He was so terrified of death that he searched the world for the secret of eternal life. And in the end, that obsession may be exactly what killed him. This is the story of Qin Shi Huang. He was the first man ever to rule a united China. A conqueror, a tyrant, and a king obsessed with cheating death itself. His story begins in an age of endless war. For centuries, China was not one country, but 7 rival kingdoms at war. In 259 BC, a prince named Zheng was born into the fierce state of Qin. At just 13 years old, he inherited its throne. The young king was ambitious, ruthless, and utterly determined. Guided by harsh advisors, he built the most fearsome war machine in China. And he set his sights on a prize no one had ever won: all of China. One by one, he came for his rivals. In a lightning series of brutal campaigns, the armies of Qin crushed every other state. One kingdom after another fell before his relentless advance. And in 221 BC, the impossible was done. China was won. State by state, the map of China was painted the single color of Qin. No mere king could rule such a vast new realm. So Zheng invented a brand new title for himself: Huangdi, the first emperor. He believed his dynasty would rule for 10,000 generations. In barely a decade, he had ended centuries of war. But conquering China was only the beginning. Now he set out to bind his new empire into a single whole. He forced all of China to use one system of writing, one currency, one set of weights and measures, even one width for every cart axle. For the first time, a merchant's cart could roll from one end of China to the other. He swept away the old nobles and ruled through a ruthless, centralized bureaucracy. And he launched building projects on a scale the world had never seen. Great roads, vast canals, and the first version of the Great Wall of China. Writing money, roads, and walls. He standardized them all. But every one of these wonders was built on a mountain of suffering. Because the first emperor ruled through absolute terror. Hundreds of thousands of laborers died building his roads, his wall, and his tomb. His laws were savage, and the smallest crime could be punished with death. He feared the ideas of the past, so he ordered countless books to be burned. Scholars who defied him were said to have been buried alive. Not surprisingly, he made many enemies and survived attempt after attempt on his life. And that fear of death became the great obsession of his life. Having conquered everything, the emperor could not bear the thought of dying. So he ordered his alchemists to find him the secret of eternal life. He even sent a great fleet east to search for a magical island of immortals. He swallowed potion after potion, each one promising to turn him into a god. That expedition sailed over the horizon and was never seen again. And here lies the cruel irony at the heart of his story. The immortality pills his doctors gave him were laced with deadly mercury. In the end, his quest for eternal life is what likely killed him. In 210 BC, while touring his empire, Qin Shi Huang suddenly died. His ministers were terrified that news of his death would spark a revolt. So they hid his rotting body in his carriage, disguising the smell with a cart of fish. They secretly forged his will and placed a weak young son on the throne. Then they laid the first emperor to rest inside his colossal, hidden tomb. He had dreamed his empire would last for 10,000 generations. Instead, without his iron grip, his empire collapsed almost overnight. Within just 4 years of his death, his mighty dynasty was gone forever. And yet, the idea of a single, unified China never died. The very name China may come from his kingdom of Qin. His great wall still winds across the mountains, and his clay army still stands guard. The tyrant who chased eternal life found a strange kind of immortality after all. Qin Shi Huang conquered all of China and then tried to conquer death. His dynasty crumbled, but the nation he forged endured for 2,000 years. The emperor who so feared being forgotten became one of the most remembered men in history.